pick 5 in the 5th round. The Browns took to, I guess, a lot of people's surprise, which it wasn't surprising to me because the Browns had a lot of pre-draft buzz with this kid, meetings with him and things, and just everything I was reading, the pulse was the Browns just love him. They want him. They had their sights set on him, and I just think they made their effort. They were going to get him. They got Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the quarterback, out of UCLA. No Brown Tiger. They did not draft him to be Deshaun Watson's replacement at any point in time.
Or Grant P.
So let's talk about Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR. And we don't have to go too in-depth on these last 3 guys, but let's just kind of do a quick overview on DTR and your takeaways from this pick.
I just thought it was kind of interesting. I know, Josh, you kind of called it out a lot. You thought that this was kind of a lock pick.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I know I've seen people liking the pick, but I'm like, you've got Josh Dobbs. I just kind of, I don't know. I guess if it's a developmental pick, which it is, I mean, by the time that his rookie contract is up, you figure, is this a guy that replaces Deshaun Watson? I guess I just didn't really understand, the long term on it. So you back up to Deshaun if he gets hurt.
Yeah,
we have Josh Dobbs. You know what I mean?
So
I know a long term.
I was kind of comparing the situation to what the San Francisco 49ers went through last year. So you've got Trey Lance, your high investment starting quarterback. You got Jimmy G, a really great backup who already took you to a Super Bowl. And then they went ahead and drafted Brock Purdy. Anyway, I know it was the last pick in the entire draft or whatever, but still they drafted him.
Right.
Okay, they used a draft capital pick on Brock Purdy to bring in another quarterback. And, it was one of those things where they wanted to make sure they had quarterbacks in their quarterback room that they felt confident in, could take the mantle if necessary, if thrust into that role, because they knew they had a great defense. They knew they had a great offense. Can you just not screw it up, basically? And we can still go places. And they did. They did go places with Purdy. So God forbid anything happened to Deshaun Watson. The next guy up could be Josh Dobbs, but at that point, then it's like, well, now what do we do if anything happens to him?
Yeah.
This is a team that is in a win-now window, and we don't want an injury at the quarterback position to take us completely, entirely out of that window in one instance. So if this was the guy that they pegged as this is the guy we need to have to be an insurance policy, then I don't mind them going and doing it.
Do you think that this moves Mond completely off?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Kellen Mond.
Practice squad guy. Yeah,
my thing is you usually carry 2 quarterbacks anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
You throughout the season. So
yeah, you probably got 2 active on game day.
Yeah, you claimed Kellen Mond last year off. Brought him into basically a practice squad kind of role.
Yep.
So I don't hate the pick. I guess I just wanted some understanding on what they believe the direction was, as far as, you know what I mean? What they wanted to do with that pick.
Yeah. What do you think, Derek? Was this one of your surprise picks?
So I actually love this pick a lot.
Okay. This was whenever you said there were some confusing picks, I thought maybe this was one, but okay.
So it is one. It's confusing because I think the Browns could have taken him later, but what I will say is it makes a little bit of sense to me because there started to be a run on quarterbacks a little bit around this time. And, like you said, the Browns love this guy. And if it means taking him here to get him, so be it. Would I have liked to seen him go with our next pick and, take a safety or linebacker instead? Yeah. But this is the perfect backup. Perfect backup to Deshaun Watson. Plays just like him. He's a very athletic quarterback. He's a really good thrower. He's underrated as a thrower. He just needs development. He's got all the talent in the world. He is boom or bust. He's got all the talent. And, when you talk about the conversation / argument / debate about Anthony Richardson, my arguments was the tools and the talent, right? You got stuff to work with there. Obviously, this is very different because you're talking, fifth round versus 4 overall.
Correct, yeah.
So, but similar situation. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, has everything the Browns want in what they have at quarterback. He is a mirror of Deshaun Watson. They're already connected. They've already worked out together. And if Deshaun were to go down or for whatever reason DTR needs to come in, obviously there's a giant talent drop-off from Deshaun Watson to DTR because obviously. But in terms of how you execute the game plan, you don't need to change a thing. Maybe you start running it a little bit more, but same type of player. He's young and he's only going to get better. And he's sitting behind the perfect quarterback for his play style. I cannot stand Kellen Mond. He's my least favorite quarterback in the NFL. He's awful. And I'm so glad that I don't have to worry about if Deshaun Watson gets hurt, the Browns cutting Josh Dobbs because Kellen Mond is cheaper. Something stupid like that.
Right.
We got our guy. I'm happy about it. Because backup quarterback, although it's not the most important position, it is very valuable. Well, he can't be.
No, I was just going to say it's not, but as soon as your quarterback gets hurt, all of a sudden it is the most important position,
Or
like out of nowhere.
For the first 11 games of the season, it's critical.
Yeah, so if you don't think backup quarterback is important, go back last year and look at Jacoby Brissett. Come on now.
Yes.
But
you got to make sure you're comfortable with the guys in that role.
The key thing with that, if you have a Patrick Mahomes, a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen, is the price tag on that, because you're not going to want to pay to have one of those great backups. Like when the Browns last year, obviously we knew Jacoby was going to start. It was worth the payday.
Right.
With this, you now have, like I said, same type of player who can really develop and be something special, I think, on a cheap rookie contract. That is so valuable for the Browns because you don't have to worry about that anymore. That's awesome.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.